Well, I was beginning to think we'd never see the day when we had an up and running workshop again. We've finally got our temporary setup, so stick around, I'll show you what we've managed to get done and a few more videos that are on their way. So this is the first video that I've filmed since New Year. I know I've put a couple of them out, which we filmed previous to the Christmas break. What I have got is another 2 videos, I think, on the garage conversion, and that includes insulating and installing the floated floor, which we've got here. And I managed to get that done before I moved the workshop back in. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, you'll know that the end game is to have the new building, which will be the workshop. But temporarily I needed to move everything back in from that marquee gazebo kind of storage that we had outside. So I've kind of squeezed everything in. It's pretty compact, and I think we can just about make things work for the time being to get the projects done that we need to get done on the house, but use it as a bit of a base to be able to build the other one and finish off a few bits and bobs, and of course film some more content. So I've thrown up the old exhibition photography background which I built a few years ago. There is a video on that somewhere. I figured it would be a bit of a background for the time being and somewhere to bang up a load of the hand tools and things like that. But really, this is not the end game, this workshop, but hopefully with a couple of lights and things it should be okay for the time being. I'm running off extension leads still. Once we've managed to get the utility end of this building done, where the washroom, the kind of bathroom and the utility laundry area is done, then I'll get the whole lot wired at the same time. And then it will all be running up, you know, on 240 with all the sockets that I put in already. So we're kind of getting there slowly, but at least we've got a warmish room. The insulation is definitely helping. It's pretty cold outside now, and I haven't really put the heater on for about 10 minutes and it's fine. Now the window and doors aren't put in yet, they've just got the insulation boards in, but I'm not too worried about that. I don't need natural light to be filming in, and it would be nice to have a bit when I'm working, but until I get the brickwork down the other side of there, then I can't really get them done. I'll probably be tracking down a local brickie to do that side of things. It's just some straightforward block work, and I know that if Dad or I do it, we'll be spending 3 times as long or more than getting a professional in. It's probably a one-day job, I imagine. Right, bit of an update on what's been going on. First of all, Christmas gifts. I didn't really do a Santa's stocking filler video this year on kind of ideas for tools, but I did give some ideas to family and relatives. One of which was one of the tips that a lot of you have been giving me, which is to get a laser measure. So rather than me staggering around on step ladders with a tape measure, this is a laser measure, and you can see there, you can literally just double click it, you know, work out where you want to measure to. And I've been measuring the room, and I've done a few comparisons, and you put the back end, the butt of this against the wall, measure the room, and it's within a millimetre or 2 of the tape measure. So it's probably more accurate by the time if you're on your own, dipping in the tape measure. And it seems to work outside. It's not too bad as well. So very inexpensive for what it is. Smart tool. If I can find the link to this one, which I sent to my in-laws, then I'll stick it below. You can find that for yourself. And the other thing that my beloved wife got me, I can't find right now. Found them. Pretty small. That's why I lost them. So Jo bought me these for Christmas, which yes, I did ask her to get me, but they are ear defenders or ear protection. They're kind of a noise cancelling earbud, but they're Bluetooth as well, and you can make phone calls and things on them. So they're pretty awesome. I mean, of course you can go from anything like this sort of thing, or the ones I use for the chainsaw, and you can have Bluetooth versions of these, but they're quite clumsy, and actually for in the workshop they're probably a bit overkill. I usually use these, which are kind of an in-ear kind of squidgy foam bud, and they are good enough for what I need, and they're always around your neck. So these are kind of the next best thing, because they are secure ones that mould to your ears anyway, and kind of hook over your ear, but they're Bluetooth. So it's kind of, she's got a bit of a hidden agenda, because I can't pretend I can't hear her now when she phones me to tell me to come and help with the kids. So they are, I don't even think they're readily available in the UK. I know TF Tools, Timber Framing Tools, who you can find on Instagram, that's where I got those, or Joe got them. They're pretty expensive, but the quality of them is very good, and of course you've got to look after your hearing. And then last of all, was a bit of a gift to myself, just a really budget soldering kit. There's just so many little electrical things, both in the van conversion, and I was fixing the doorbell on the house, and there's just so many things which I know if I can teach myself to do some basic electrics, I'd probably be saving throwing away little tools or gadgets, because sometimes it's, you know, kids' remote control thing, the antennae comes, or you know, something breaks, and it was really bugging me, the fact that I couldn't fix them. So I bought, I think it was like a tenner or something, but I fixed the doorbell already, so I'm quids in. Anyway, things coming up in the next few weeks. We've got a couple of simple builds for the house. I'm working on this shelving project at the moment. It's just really basic shelf for the office up in the loft. A scaffold plank, you know, the old standard rustic affair. And for that, I bought these simple little steel brackets. And this is basically it's set me a challenge for 2019. I bought these on Amazon, 12 quid or something they were, and they arrived, and I first of all thought, that's not a lot for £12, you know, they're just, all it is bent steel with one weld. And then I looked at the weld, and it just, everything about it was screaming at me that I needed to learn to weld. They were just Chinese packaging, and they were just banged out. Nothing was square about them. Everything was rough and ready, and just, I wasn't happy, and it was enough for me to say, right, by the end of 2019, I'm going to get myself a little MIG welder, and I'm going to teach myself, or get somebody to teach me how to weld, because I should not be buying this sort of tat. Anyway, I'll be using these for the next project, but after that we need to become a little bit more self-dependent and self-sufficient when it comes to metal work. Another exciting plan for 2019 is I'm going to try and get out and about more and film more of other people's projects, and that's either renovation projects, garden, landscape type design projects, or even full-on self-builds, barn conversion self-builds. And that's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I'm kind of gearing up to do it at the moment. A few people I've been in contact with already who've got projects, and I need to kind of plot things on a map and work out when and where I can get to, because ideally I need to kind of group 2 or 3 together and just drop in. It might just be a couple of hours, just kind of filming a bit, talking to whoever's got that project going on, and then perhaps revisit them in a few months' time, especially if it's bigger builds. It'd be really good to feature that on the channel. One of which is a friend's house, and they've got some plans, and I've been kind of planning things with them. So I'm going to do a video at theirs. It's a really nice old cottage. So that should be the next week or two. It's very local, really good friends of ours. So just kind of, you know, you don't want to be watching our house all the time, I guess, so it'd be quite nice to just have a bit of a change of scenery. But if that is you, if you've got a big project going on, or if you're building this beautiful house in the middle of nowhere, then please do get in touch. You know, even if it's a patio project or something, it might just happen to be in the right place at the right time, and it'd just be great to meet more people, like-minded people, and feature some other projects, because I get sent all these emails with all these images, and while it would be great to do a video at some point featuring those images, it'll also be great to actually get out and about and meet people in person. So email is down below in the description, just drop me an email. Oh, okay, I'm going to be about 2 minutes, just wrapping up a video. Alright, bye. Dinner's on the table. Couple of quick things to finish on. One is cameras. I bought this little Panasonic camera before Christmas because the other one had just fallen off enough roofs. It was an old Canon DSLR and it was managing. I've got mirrorless this time and hopefully that'll be okay. There's just about enough light in here for that small sensor. But you know, well, when it comes to the lighting in the new workshop, then we'll be good to go because hopefully we'll have a load of really nicely balanced lighting in there. Anyway, on the subject of cameras, I've recently purchased a drone. That's something I've been really wanting to get involved in for the channel, but also being a professional photographer during the week, or you know, when I'm not doing DIY. That is something that I do a lot of construction photography, working with construction companies and architects and other big events and things like that. And for the last 3 or 4 years, I've been just shipping out all the aerial photography to other people. And I just got to a point where it just made sense to do it in-house. So trying to do everything by the books, obviously because I'm doing a lot of commercial work, but to use the footage in a YouTube environment, especially if we've got any revenue coming in from, you know, Google or anything like that, then we need to be commercial pilots, commercially approved drone pilots. So I've just been flat out trying to get all that sorted. So I've had 2 days of courses and passed all those exams, and I've got a practical assessment coming up, and then I need to be away to the CAA to get my approval and permissions, and then we'll be good to go. But I have the drone. I've been doing my practice flights and all sorts, got some great footage. I'm not going to start using it on the channel until I have that approval, just because I do want to do things by the books. I know 99% of other people put their aerial footage all over YouTube, and I'm sure, well, fairly sure they've probably not gone the same route, but certainly here in the UK it's a requirement, if not the whole of Europe. So that's going to be coming up this year, and especially if we're filming builds, other people's builds. I've got roofing work to do on this house. I think that's going to add an extra dimension to the channel. So that's some other things to look forward to. Here's a 2-second clip. I'll be naughty. 3-second, 4-second of us this afternoon out with the kids in the fields. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Do let me know what you want to see this year, whether it's more of the outdoor stuff. Of course, we've got some small extension work to go on in the house, potentially roofing. I want to try and get people involved in the workshop build, whether that's a weekend build or something like that, a working party. And I know a few people have come forward to offer their support for that. But what do you want to see? More of the woodworking, the workshop type stuff, more of the restoration, renovation stuff, outdoor, indoor, other people's builds, or all of the above, I don't know. But let me know, it'd be great to hear from you. But that's it, I've got dinner on the table, so thank you for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself. And the next video will be the flooring video, which I'll try and get out by tomorrow. And lastly, apologies because the microphone had run out of battery, so I'm just on the camera mic. But here's a little bit of an overview of what we've got going on. Window not in yet, but that's where it's going to be. Door not in yet, it's just boarded up on the other side, but at least it's keeping me warm. And the floor's in. Loads more sorting to do, loads more thinning out of junk and scraps of wood, but we're getting somewhere.